All right, so Caden just completed a lesson for me. He's a little bit more squiggly than he would be at school. So I'm going to do what I call brain breaks. So it's little bursts of time where kids need to be able to switch speeds and use maybe a different part of their brain. This was a book that we got a while ago. Maybe it was in his Christmas stocking, I'm not sure. But it's a completely blank, kind of like coloring book with some pages in it. This one's theme is superhero. So I'm going to give him a little break to do something that's calming, um, less of me giving him directions, more of him making choices. And the big payback for this is that Caden will be ready and engaged for the next lesson, and he's a little more calm. So at points in the day, I give my students calm break where we do some mindfulness, some coloring, some sharing, and then there are also high activity breaks where we go out and we play soccer and climb the jungle gym and do some let's dance videos. So I'm going to give him a little brain break of time. Now you don't need a ton of stuff for this. If you have some crayons, you could do that, or some markers. They don't have to be fancy or all intact. They could be broken and you could just use them. These are actually markers I use at home when I'm creating learning boards for my own students. But what I also did is just to show you that we wrestled up some markers and crayons and stuff that were in some random drawers. Some highlighters, some markers. This is stuff that the older kids in my house use to do their work. So you can use just about anything. The point of these videos, I hope, is that you understand you can be your child's first teacher. You don't need a ton of fancy stuff in order to do that. And sometimes you don't need technology in order to do that. The point is keep them stimulated so when they are back at school for a full day, they adjust a little bit better and they don't lose a lot of the information that they've already been taught up until this point. That's nice. I like this blue. One thing to remember if you're going to praise your child, a lot of times we find ourselves saying, good job, awesome, way to go. But a lot of studies say you should have a specific thing that you can home in on what they're doing and address that. So if you have a behavior that you're trying to reinforce, you give details, you talk about that specific behavior, and the chances that it's repeated is a lot more. So I'm going to home in on one thing that I really like, genuinely like about Caden's picture, and I'm going to tell him that thing. Not because I necessarily need him to repeat it, but it just comes off more genuine. I mean, if we're going to be home like 3 or 4 weeks, he's going to be getting a lot of compliments. So it's better that I'm detailed than vague. All right, Caden is going to finish his brain break. I also like to have a little snack out. I see he's eating all of his snack. But this way he's not running and running and running to the refrigerator. There's one thing out. I know how much of it is. He had a little bit of milk, a little bit of dry cereal, and he just kind of snacked a little bit while he worked. All right, Caden, good job. We're going to give you a few more minutes, and then we can finish that after our next lesson. Okay.